The Ordo Evolutus is an ordo minoris made up of radical subfactionists within the Imperial Inquisition. They operate in the depths of the Ghoul Stars, located in Ultima Segmentum. They are a highly secretive but incredibly well-organized and maintained ordo that also operates as its own radical subfaction within itself, their members naming themselves Astartes Genesists. Much like Ordos Designatus and Thanatos, the Ordo Evolutus is a very unknown ordo within the Inquisition, with even a vast majority of the most high-ranking Lord Inquisitors having only heard the name in passing, and even then they have neither the authority nor the ability to find any information on them, even if they wish to. Even if they don't know it, the Ordo Astartes has very close ties with the Ordo Evolutus, with their agents either infiltrating the organization or acting as double agents that relay information they require back to their own Ordo. The Ordo Evolutus mainly gains their new members from Ordos Malleus and Xenos, as they have the most common of Inquisitors who think like they do. The Ordo Evolutus's mandate is to attempt to evolve humanity so that they will naturally be able to become the God Emperor's Angels of Death, the Space Marines. They attempt to do this by using the powers of the Warp, which is why a high percentage of the Ordo's Inquisitors are Psykers, as well as attempting to unlock the genetic secrets of the gene seed used by the Space Marines in their creation. They seek to create a new race of humans who will have all of the qualities, strengths, and additional organs that a Space Marine has from birth, as well as to allow this new humanity to naturally breed instead of having to rely on an inferior subspecies to pull recruits from to become a Space Marine, thus doubling the number of Space Marines already by allowing the opposite sex to contribute to the effort. There are even some more pious among the Inquisitors in the Ordo that believe that if they are successful in their goals, the God Emperor will return to them naturally, as they believe he is waiting for them to enact his plan of evolving humanity into its better form, the Astartes. The official founding date of the Ordo is as shrouded as the founding of the Inquisition itself. However, the earliest documents to contain the Ordo's name date back to the late M32. And the majority of documents that contain the name of the Ordo are related to the Pale Wasting that took place in the Ghoul Stars where Ordo Evolutus resides. In truth, this was where their larger campaign began. At first, Ordo Evolutus was limited to experimenting on either Marines that were snatched from their chapters or squads of newly made Space Marines that were requested but then never returned back to their chapter, with either stories of heresy or death being given to their chapters thanks to the agents in Ordo Astartes. They have never had a Space Marine subject get away from their grasp or escape to reveal their secret agenda, with those who do escape ending up dead before they get very far. Once the Pale Wasting took place in the Ghoul Stars, the Ordo sprang into action. Officially, there are 11 Space Marine chapters listed as having been destroyed by the Pale Wasting. Unofficially, the Ordo Evolutus managed to kidnap, entrap, or deceive many members from each of the 11 chapters, enough to form 2 whole new chapters on their own, before the rest were destroyed in the effort to stop the Pale Wasting. Ordo Evolutus were one of the quickest and most active Inquisition Ordos when it came to silencing and purging information regarding the Wasting. So much so that most Inquisitors who try looking into the Ordo from the outside assume that was their created purpose. Ordo Evolutus was in fact silencing all the leads that could trace their forbidden work back to themselves, and the Space Marines they captured formed the base of their operations in the Ghoul Stars, and were the first to be widely experimented upon to achieve their goal for an Astartes humanity. The Ordo Evolutus is currently managed by Lord Inquisitor known as Vegus Akale. Because of her family history with the Ghoul Stars and her own un-Puritan background, she almost easily became a member of the Ordo Evolutus once they noticed her, and soon rose through the ranks to be ruling as its current Lord Inquisitor. The Ordo maintains a planet within the Ghoul Stars that is off limits to most Inquisitors, and even though all their work is done underground on the planet, they have created false images on the planet's surface that will be shown to those who attempt to look but not in person. It is impossible to tell exactly how many Inquisitors work within the Ordo, as they have so many different agents and shadow members that work for them. However, it is estimated to be in the hundreds if these agents and shadow members are included. Currently, Ordo Evolutus has 4 main members that make up the cabal of the Ordo. Lord Inquisitor Vegas Akale is the leader of the Ordo Evolutus and is the public face that any Inquisitor shall see, should they come looking. Inquisitor Flamon Turab is the second member. He deals with the processing and the experimentation on the Space Marines. Inquisitor Octus Vandaler maintains control over the militaries of the Ordo, both the ground and the spatial. Finally, there is Inquisitor Vidra Neve, the Inquisitor in charge of acquiring the new Space Marines for the Ordo, a ruthless and efficient woman who takes her work very seriously. Each of these Inquisitors has subordinates, acolytes and retinues that they command over, all of which have sworn deepest loyalty to the Ordo Evolutus. The Ordo works closely with the Marines Errant, thanks to Vegas's ties to her rogue trader family, but also with the Astartes Guardians of the Ghoul Stars, the Death Spectres. They have often claimed members of these chapters to experiment on, and to try unraveling the secrets to create their vision of a natural Astartes. The Ordo maintains its own private militia pulled from several worlds close to the Ghoul Stars, with the Inquisition at large allowing this, for it keeps their own personal troops closer to matters they consider to be more important. When the Great Rift formed and the Imperium was divided into 2, the Ordo Evolutus found this newfound time to be both a blessing and a curse to their cause. Naturally, they were devastated that the Imperium was now as besieged as it was, but also overjoyed to see that the Primarch Guilliman was alive to help guide the Imperium back to order. They also believe that the Primaris Marines are proof that they are working with the blessings of the Emperor, as they see them as Space Marines evolving to match a greater demand, so humanity must evolve with them to meet the desires of the God Emperor. They wish to one day capture one and study it, like they have the Astartes, believing the Primaris to be the catalyst of their research, due to containing new and untested gene seed genetic variety. The Great Rift has allowed them to prey upon Space Marine chapters cut off from their chain of command, and thus helpless against their ways of ensnaring more Astartes for their Ordo's research. However, it has since allowed for their Ordo to be more exposed to being discovered, should they not maintain a constant vigilance against outside interference. And with the Inquisition almost as divided as the Imperium itself, their agents hidden amongst the Ordos would struggle to cover up any discoveries that might be made. One such incident involved several Inquisitors of the Ordo Evolutus being discovered by the Death Spectres as they were transporting captured Astartes back to their main base. The Inquisitors were forced to destroy their catch and go underground before the Death Spectres could discover the truth, with the Ordo Evolutus making them as heretics and later reporting that Lord Inquisitor Vegas herself had executed them in a glorious Emperor-blessed crusade she undertook through the Ghoul Stars to hunt them down. In truth, they were recovered and sent back to the Ordo's main planet to remain there indefinitely, reassigned to new tasks for their Ordo. The Ordo Evolutus was able to come out clean from the event, and were even marked as heroes for hunting out and defeating traitors to the God Emperor.